Good morning, everyone. It's James Carpenter with Country Living. Today we're going to do some spot weeding here. I call it spot weeding. What I do is I hook the sprayer up to the lawn tractor and I bring the wand hose to the driver's compartment, and I basically just drive around and I individually spot single weeds. And that may sound a little bit off, but in all actuality, the rest of that yard out there gets sprayed with the boom. It's these edges, this area here, like this mulched area, anywhere close to the edge, it's difficult to spray with the boom. So I go around, and as you can see, that wand, I've got that set basically so it's just like a stream of water. Technically it should probably be a mist, but I'm not trying to do the entire yard. I'm spot killing. And this is something that I have to do about 4 times a year. So there's different types of weed killer, but the one I prefer is sold by TSC, and it's just labeled broadleaf weed killer. So you can go into TSC and they've got a little section there for what I call homeowners, but you go back where the farmers purchase their stuff and you'll see broadleaf weed killer, which is good for just what I'm doing today. And there's what they call brush killer, which is basically another term of Roundup. But these chemicals are available at TSC and at Rural King, and it's better than buying from the homeowner section. It'll save you a lot of money is basically what I'm saying. But as much spraying as I do every year, I need to basically buy in somewhat bulk. So these chemicals come in 2.5 gallon containers. And again, today I'm just doing the weeds along the edge of the driveway and anything that might have managed to get through somewhere else. But you can see how I take that wand. If I'm wanting to do a larger area, I just shake the wand and it basically just puts a coating on there. Really nice. You can see it there in how I'm just kind of moving it around. But the goal is to have a weed-free yard, and I spent a lot of time making that happen. But I can assure you this, if you're driving down the road and you look in somebody's yard and it just looks like yellow flowers everywhere, they're definitely got weeds out of control. And as long as the weeds are growing, the grass can't spread like it should because they're kind of taking over. And this is out on the county road right here. I maintain a strip of grass approaching my property just to keep everything looking good. I keep it mowed, I keep it sprayed, the whole 9 yards. This is at the entrance to the driveway, and these weeds, up until the time I'm spraying today, they were really bothering me because they're pretty thick. There's actually a dandelion or 2 right there. Now, my neighbor, he's got quite a few dandelions, but typically the wind blows out of the west, so most of his seeds are going the other direction from me. Those are thistle weeds there, those little guys. And these ones with the purple flowers on them, they seem to be pretty aggressive. They will take an area over pretty quick. But again, the key is to get the weeds under control and then keep the weeds under control. I sometimes will tell people, I'll give you $10 if you can find a weed in my yard. But I got to be careful of that, because them little weeds can sneak in here and there. But for the most part, they're not sneaking into my yard. Now, back in the day, we're talking maybe 40 years ago when I was young, I had weeds everywhere. I was green. I had no idea how to control weeds or do any of that. But what it did is I had seasonal allergies, and all those weeds would just make my, I guess they call it hay fever, go crazy. And since I've gotten the weeds under control just around my property, that has helped considerably with the amount of pollen that's in the air. Now, this is those purple ones right here by the farmhouse mailbox. I slowed this down so you could see how the coating I'm putting on there. I mean, I did this yesterday. I'm liable to go out there today and find these things curling already. It all depends on how hot this mix was, and obviously that's determined by a bunch of measurements. But I've been doing this for so many years. I just picked a 2.5 gallon jug out and start pouring, and I just know about how much to pour in my 30 gallon tank. And knock on wood, I've been pretty lucky, and I haven't actually killed my grass. But there was a time that a guy gave me some free chemicals, and he said it was fertilizer, and I sprayed my lawn with it, and it was Roundup. So 3 years ago, I completely replaced all the grass. I tilled everything up and planted Kentucky bluegrass. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their day to watch my video. Obviously, it would help if you would hit that like button and leave comments. Thank you.